Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Monday, the 29th of November. McShane has us reading two chapters in 1 Chronicles today, chapters 26 and 27. Long lists of names and groups of people and descendants and family groupings and some possibly tough going, not really inspiring. However, I was struck by a list headed as the King's Overseers. And from verse 25 of chapter 27, we read, Asmaveth, son of Adiel, was in charge of the royal storehouses. Jonathan, son of Uzziah, was in charge of the storehouses in the outlying districts, in the towns and villages and the watchtowers. Ezri, son of Caleb, was in charge of the field workers who farmed the land. Shimei, the Ramathite, was in charge of the vineyards. Zabdi, the Shifmite, was in charge of the produce of the vineyards for the wine vats. And it goes on, various people in charge of herds and flocks and farming. And as I read that, it just struck me, you've got these long lists of names of admin people. And when we think of this period, we think of David fighting Goliath and on the run from Saul and passing the kingdom on to Solomon. And we have the story around the centers of power. But they needed all these people to keep things going. If David didn't have these overseers in charge, when the time for the harvest came, the fields wouldn't have been harvested, or if they were harvested, it would have, where does it go? Who's in charge of putting it wherever it's supposed to go? And nothing has changed. The church today is still fundamentally dependent on the administrators. And as Anglicans, we've just seen in the Anglican diocese the problems that occur when administration is challenged and lacking, particularly financial administration. And the church here, I sit in the church doing the reading, but there are people that clean the church and arrange for the cleaning and oversee the staff. We've got office workers who aren't up front, but are vital for keeping things going. And on a Sunday morning and in a church service, people watch the upfront people, but there's a whole host of people behind the scenes doing the printing and the arranging and the recording and the filming and all sorts of aspects of worship today. And so be encouraged that whatever it is that you've been gifted with, and some of us have upfront gifts, and we thank God for that. But we are dependent on the people with the behind-the-scenes gifts, just as David was, with his teams of overseers to keep things going. God gifts people with administrative abilities and all sorts of financial management acumen, and there's all of those people. And if you're one of those people, it's not that because you're not up front and nobody sees you, you're not important. You're vital, and we need to remember that. And in the New Testament, we're told that every Christian has a gift, and some people will be eyes and some people will be ears and some people will be toes, and every one of us needs each one of the others. So be challenged to use what God has given you, and be encouraged that if you think it's not important, God knows, and he's put the administrators into the Bible because the administrators matter. So whatever your gift is, however it is that you serve the Lord, that matters. Give it joyfully, give it willingly, give it freely, knowing that God uses every single part of his body to grow the kingdom. Be blessed.